Hello, space friends. I'm Kshal Aideron, and you're about ready to watch the fourth episode of The Voices of New Eden. In today's episode, you're going to hear from a pilot who's played for a while, but hasn't had the best time finding the right corporation game. He tells about the toxicity and treatment he received as a new player. Luckily, this story does have a happy ending. So let's get into the episode and meet Hoshi Darkstar.
My name is Hoshi Darkstar. I have been playing about, I'd say 9.5, almost 10 years now. If you look at my actual character, though, it does not reflect my real age. My actual character is about almost a month old now. The reason for that is because basically when I was younger, I put some bad information on my account, and well, unfortunately, I can't get my old character back. My old character, though, is, if you want to look him up in his glory, was Kirkdog, Kdawg. The reason why I joined Eve is because just space, wormholes, time continuum, missiles, that type of stuff. It intrigues me. Anything about space. I love learning about space, spaceships, how they work. Take them apart, look at the pieces. How are they put together? All that internal stuff. It makes my mind drive pretty fast. Has Eve lived up to my expectations? Eve has 100% lived up to my expectations. And it has disappointed me in some ways. Some ways that I've been disappointed is the community. There have been times that I have met some rather poor community members, and there's times that I've met really good community members that just make me go, "Oh, yeah, I want to keep playing with them." And then just some things that CCP has done that has really messed with me. Like whenever they introduced skill injectors, the large and the small. At first, I really wasn't keen to the idea because I was like, as a longtime pilot, these new pilots can come in and just inject this SP, and you don't know if they're new, if they're not, or what they are because they can be sitting up in a Titan and they're like 4 days old. So I was really disappointed in CCP for that. But as for everything else, it definitely met my expectations, from the ship combat to how it's gone, even to the graphics when I first started were decent. Even to now when I came back like a month ago, it's even more beautiful. Like I cranked the graphics up and I'm astounded at the moons and the systems you go into. I went into a shattered wormhole the other day that had the red planet shattered all over the place, and I just sat there and I was like, wow, that is freaking amazing. Like I literally just sat there cloaked for a good 10, 15 minutes just checking out everything. So it definitely does meet my expectations, but in some points it does disappoint me too. How long of a break I took was, I would say, about 3 years. Reason why I took that break was just for a multitude of reasons, ranging from I didn't have a computer, I was making poor choices in life, and I didn't have the time with my daughters and everything going on at the time. The big of a change from 3 years ago and today, I would have to say, was pretty big. A lot of the changes that I saw personally were mainly inside like the info channels. And when I say info channels, for whenever you go to like look at the information about ships, skills, like back in the day, I remember subsystems. If you died in a Tengu, you lost a level in a subsystem. That doesn't happen no more, thank God. I am very thankful for that because I've died many times in my Tengu within the last 30 days from practicing fits to other things. But I mean, there's been some good changes and some bad. I definitely have noticed, like I said earlier, about the graphics, the graphical updates. I have noticed way better from back then to now, all the way down to the way the market works a little bit too. I've noticed the market changed a little bit. Also, you have the HoloNet now, I think ChronoNet or whatever is where you click the little boxes and then you can bet and stuff. All changed. So there definitely was a big, massive change there. And then the new player experience is what really blew my mind. I feel like if I had that new player experience when I started 9 years ago, it would have stuck a lot harder on me and I would have been more addicted, to be honest. Because back then, like, I was addicted, but I wasn't like, oh, I gotta play this right now. It was just kind of like, all right, cool, I'm gonna log on, do some things, go play something else, come back in a day or two. If I would have had that new player experience they give you now, you get warped into the colony, you get attacked, you get to destroy something, and then they guide the path and they show you where to go. Versus back then, they were just kind of like, "Hey, figure it out, man. No hand holding here, you know." So it definitely has changed immensely, and I feel like it's for the good. Now that what do I currently do in the game? Now that's a tough question. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, to be honest. In my personal time, when I'm doing like my own stuff, I personally love diving C3, C4 wormhole sites. I love to go inside of them, check them out, look at everything, and then I like to go inside and just clean the sites up. So I like to do the frontier barracks, frontier strongholds. I love doing the relic sites. I'll kill all the rats, collect all the loot, then I'll come back and I'll hack all the cans and take everything out of the cans. Sometimes I'll partake in a little bit of PvP and I'll go hunting for the miners, or I'll go hunting for the missioner, or not the missioners, the ratters in there. On the flip side, though, I do enjoy a little abyssal running. Abyssal running has been a passion of mine for a while. I really do enjoy it, even though it makes my blood pressure rise pretty quickly. When you get into a death room and there's like 5 overminds and you're just like, well, I'm cooked. And then most recently, I've actually been flying incursions, and I enjoy the incursions a lot. I feel like they really come together, and like, I fly Logi predominantly because I do like healing, and I find it fun. Some people don't find it fun. Some people find it just boring. But to me, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm helping other players stay alive. So I kind of feel like the heart of the party, because without the healing, or without the basilisk or the Nestor or the skimmy, the everyone would die, So that's kind of what I like to do. Basically, incursions, wormhole diving immensely, and then I do a little PvP and abyssal running on the side. Communities. Honestly, right now I only have one community that really stands out to me right now is Eve Rookies. I had came back to the game and I was looking for a incursion community to run with, and whenever I was looking for an incursion community to run with, I was asking in, I think it was Warp to me. Yeah, it was Warp to me. I was like, "Hey, new bro here. I just came back to the game. Could anybody help me get me situated?" Nobody said a word. Not a word. I said something in TDL, TDA, TDL. I forget what the ending letter is, but I was same thing. TDF. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like, "Hey, new bro here. I'm just trying to get back into incursions. It's been a while, but I'd really like to get into it." Not a word. I'd say about 5 minutes after I sent that post, somebody called Busy, Busy. Yeah, she sent me a message and she's like, "Hey, I got this community for new bros. We do incursions, we do armor fleets, we do HQ fleets. We do training fleets, we do industrial, we do wormhole diving, we do abyssals." And I'm just like, "Your community does all this? No way." And at first I didn't believe it. I was a little skeptical. I'm like, "Man, I feel like I'm getting like lured to a death trap here." Well, I got invited into the Discord, and then I started to meet certain people. I started to meet their FCs and all these different varieties and things on the field that I started seeing, and I started talking to the different leadership teams, and it's just it's grown on me. I'll share a little message that I sent last night to Bisbee actually. I said, "Hey, can I have a little bit of your time?" She says, "Sure, what's up?" I said, "Hey, I just want to thank you for introducing me to this community. I've learned so much and I'm enjoying it." And that's genuine, because I don't see fighting. I don't see people putting each other down. I don't see belittling. I don't see screaming at each other. I don't see people arguing. People genuinely work together and they try to help each other out. So I am a proud member of Eve Rookies. This is a big one. My current pain points would have to be corporations and communities. There are some communities that are really toxic. I'm not going to name any because that's just not how I am. But there are some communities out there that are just toxic. Like I said, kind of the opposite of the community I'm in right now. Scream and yell at you if you make mistakes. They get mad at you for being a new bro. They laugh at you. You know, that stuff just makes you feel like garbage and you don't want to go do that content anymore. Or in some cases, I've seen some people leave or quit the game just because of that. I've seen people go, you know what? This game ain't for me. These people are toxic. They're mean. They're rude. This, and they're gone. And that's how you lose new bros. You know, new bros are the way of the game. If you don't help the new bros and show them what's up and what's going on, you're we're never going to go anywhere. You know, that's why I don't mind helping new bros. But back to the original question was my pain points would, like I said, be corporations and communities. I feel like a lot of the communities are just they forget that we were all new at one point. You know, we all started with 0 SP. We all started with nothing, no ship skills. We started in a little Iteron or a little venture, and that's all we had. And then we worked our way up. You know, it's just I feel like longtime players or veteran players like myself, even I sometimes forget it. You know, and then corporations, you know, some corporations I've been in are really bad. Previous corporations I've been in, I've had the GMs tell me I'm going to hack into your Discord and I'm going to look at your messages to make sure you're not a spy. I'm going to get into your computer and your network to make sure you're not saying anything you're not supposed to be doing. I've had people lie on me saying a variety of different things. It's just finding a correct corporation is just hard these days. You know, a corporation to me is like a family, you know, and that's what it is, a family online, because I'm choosing to log in every day and spend my time with this corporation, these people. I get into Discord, I'm in chat with them, I'm in voice chat, I'm flying with them, we're doing sites, we're doing incursions, we're PvPing together, we're mission, whatever we're doing, you know, we're doing it together and we're spending time with them. So to me, you know, I want to do that somewhere where I enjoy it, not to where I feel like I'm a hindrance or something bad is going on. That's actually a good question. How do I feel that CCP could ease the problem? I honestly haven't given it much thought if I'm being 100% honest. I feel like maybe they could make some type of corp directory, and obviously your corporations, like I know they have, like, you can post your corp ad and you can read it and all that, but maybe a thing to where other people or other players could rate it or they could leave comments or something like that, or some type of feedback, so that way, you know, people know, like, hey, that's Nubo friendly, or hey, don't go there, because there's just a lot of corporations out there that just use the new bros and use people in general. And it's just, to me, it's just like, wow, you know, like those corporations that I've been in, you know, I would like to go back and click on their advert or on their corporation and be like, you know, this is my experiences here. Stay the hell away. Or, hey, you know what? I was in this corporation for 3 years and the leader was nothing but great. You know, maybe add in something to where we could rate or leave feedback for that corporation. Maybe certain players can see of age, or maybe only new bros could see whenever they're trying to figure something out or trying to find a corporation to go to, or something like that. You know, honestly, I'm really not sure how CCP could better the experience, because the experience varies from person to person and thing to thing. You know, I may not think what is rude that he's doing that she may think is rude to the max. You know, so everybody has different opinions and ideals at what's okay and what isn't okay. I would say the final words, you know, is, you know, a great pilot that I once knew in Eve. He always told me, you know, don't get caught up in everything. Don't take everything personal. You know, don't try to be the biggest, baddest person out there, because whenever you get to be like that, you start to get a big head. And when you start to get a big head, then things start to go sideways, and sideways isn't fun. You know, people log into Eve to have fun. People log into Eve to, you know, relieve their daily stress. And sometimes I feel people forget that. So just remember that Eve's a game, and that, you know, like I said, we were all new bros at one time. So, you know, just help the new bros out and be courteous to them and just go from there.
I often talk to the EVE Rookies leadership team about first impressions. Oftentimes, our fleet or Discord server are a new player's first interaction with an EVE Online community. This is what's called a core memory. When we're kind and we do our best to make a moment a good one for the pilot, they're more likely to not only stay in the game, but look back at their time in our community fondly. However, if they encounter rude and judgmental FCs or fleet members who yell at them for mistakes, they may avoid fleets and communities altogether. That's not what we want in this game. We want people to log in and have fun. Without them, the game would be rather boring and stale. Remember, each voice matters no matter how new, old, big, or small. As always, thank you so much for watching Voices New Eden. It's an honor to be able to record and share other players' journeys in this game we all love. If you'd like to help, please give this video a like, a channel subscribe, and maybe even comment. If you're interested in lending your voice, you can find me in-game as Kshal Aideron or on the EVE Rookies Discord, which is linked below. Until next week, this is Voices of New Eden.